Today's reading session. So today's theme is human life, the junction point. So this is the fourth session of the book reading series. So we are going to read from Srila Prabhupada's book, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness. Let us begin with few prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So welcome all of you once again for today's book reading session. The theme is Human Life, the Junction Point. So what we'll be doing in today's session is we will be reading from Srila Prabhupada's book, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness. Each one of you will be getting an opportunity to read for everyone, or rather some of you can read, and we will be also discussing important points based on the reading, and towards the end there is an interesting interactive quiz based on what we have read. So I request all of you to please pay attention during the session. So let's begin the session. Who would like to volunteer first to read? We dedicate this session to our beloved spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. So, who would like to read? Hare Krishna, Gaurav.
Yeah. Shall I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Gaurav. Start.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna to everyone. Why two material and spiritual worlds? Actually, we are all spirit souls and we are intended to associate with God in the spiritual sky where there are innumerable spiritual planets and innumerable spiritual living entities. However, those who are not fit to live in that spiritual world are sent to this material world. This very idea is expressed by Milton in Paradise Lost. Although spirit soul, we have voluntarily accepted this material body and by accepting it have also accepted the threefold miseries of material nature. Exactly when we accepted it and how we accepted it cannot be traced out. No one can trace out the history of when the conditioned soul first began accepting this material body.
Okay. Thank you for reading, Gaurav. So, last week, the previous session, we had discussed about this spiritual world and material world. So, continuing the same concept. So, here, Srila Prabhupada says that we are all spirit souls and our original home is the spiritual world. And there are innumerable living entities in the spiritual world, and their consciousness is Krishna consciousness. So if one is perfectly situated in Krishna consciousness, one is eligible to stay in the spiritual world in the company of the Lord. And there are not just one, but there are many spiritual planets in the spiritual sky. And we had discussed in the previous session that each of these spiritual planets are referred to as Vaikuntha Lokas. Vaikuntha means the place which is free from material anxiety. But those who are not fit to stay in that spiritual world, in other words, those who are not perfectly situated in spiritual or Krishna consciousness, they are sent to this material world. So last time I remember discussing that material world is 25% of the entire existence, while the spiritual world is 75% of the entire existence. That means majority of the souls are actually in the spiritual world. They are very happy in the company of the Lord, serving Him in perfect Krishna consciousness. But a minority of the living entities who fall down from the spiritual world, who lose their original, or they who forget their original relationship with Krishna, they come to this material world. So material world is minority population. Majority of the population is in the spiritual world. Now Prabhupada is referring here to one novel written by an English writer, Milton, John Milton. His novel is called Paradise Lost. Actually, there is one more novel called Paradise Gained and Paradise. So Paradise Lost, in this novel, Prabhupada says that a similar idea is expressed by Milton, that few of the living entities who become unfit to stay in the spiritual world, they come to this material world. So we have voluntarily accepted this material body. The key word here is voluntarily. It's very important. How have we come from the spiritual world to the material world? Why have we come? The reason is we have exercised our freedom, our minute independence, called as the free will. And because of this free will, we have made a choice to enjoy independent of God, to enjoy independent of Krishna. So that is the voluntary decision that we have made, exercising our free will. And as soon as we make this choice, we come to this material world and we have to accept a material body. And as soon as we accept the material body, we have to also accept threefold miseries. Three kinds of miseries. What are the threefold miseries? Miseries caused by, this we have studied in the previous part of the book. Miseries caused by our own body and mind. That is called Adhyatmika Klesha. Miseries caused by other living entities. That is called Adhibhautika Klesha. And miseries caused by higher forces of nature. That is called Adhidaivika Klesha. Three kinds of miseries. They are called threefold miseries. Everybody in this material world, we are going through these three kinds of miseries. And the main important key point here is, when we actually accepted this material body, we cannot trace it. So therefore it is said, Anadi karma phale pade bhavarnava jale. It is said, we have actually fallen into this material world, which is compared to a great ocean, and nobody can trace out when exactly we got trapped in this material world. It is not possible for us to trace. Why it is not possible for us to trace? Because it is like this. Currently we are in this life, we have accepted one particular body because of the reactions of the activities that we have done in the past life. Now that means in the past life we had a particular material body. Why we got that? Because previous to that we had done some activities because of which we got that particular body. Like this, if you go on going back, flashback, if you go back like that in time, every time we have a material body, it is because of some residual reactions of the previous life. Therefore, it is not possible for us to trace when actually the soul, we the soul, got entrapped in this material world. When our material existence began, we cannot go back in history and trace out. So this is confirmed even by great acharyas like Madhvacharya. He says that we are in this material world since time immemorial. Now the main business is not to trace when we came to this material world, but the main business is, right now we are in this material world, how to get out of this material world and how to go back to our original home, to the spiritual world, That is the main business that we have to be worried about. Okay, let's continue our reading. Who would like to now read? Who would like to read? Someone can volunteer.
I can read. Namaste ji. Anirudh here.
Hare Krishna, Anirudh. Yes, please read. Spiritual evolution.
At present, Darwin's theory of the evolution of organic matter is very prominent in institutions of higher learning, but there is information given in the Padma Purana and other authoritative scriptures of the living entity's spiritual evolution from one bodily form to another. This Purana informs us that species amongst plants and vegetables alone at present everyone is giving stress to Darwin's theory, but in Vedic literature, there is immense information about the different species. Darwin expresses the opinion that the species are evolving from lower forms of life, but this is not the whole truth. The soul may progress from lower forms to higher forms, but in the beginning of creations, all species were created by Sri Krishna as indicated in the Bhagavad Gita.
Very nice. Thank you, Anirudh. Yes, so here Prabhupada is referring to the Darwin's theory of organic evolution, which is very prominent and which we have all learnt in our schools, in our colleges. So there is a different kind of an evolution that the Vedic scriptures talk about. That is evolution of the soul's consciousness. So there are 84 lakh species of life, and before coming to the human form of life, the soul goes through or accepts different bodily forms one after another. This is called the cycle of transmigration of the soul. So the Padma Purana gives detailed description of this. It says, Jalaja Navalakshani Sthavara Lakshavimshati Krimaya Rudra Sankhyayaha, and so on. So Padma Purana says there are 9 lakh species of aquatic plants and animals, and there are 2 lakh species of plants and vegetables, and there are 11 lakh species of reptiles, and then there are many species of 4-legged animals, and then there are 4 lakh species of human beings, etc. So like this, the soul from lower form of life, that is from aquatic plants and animals, the soul transmigrates to the plants and animals, the plants and vegetable species, and then to the reptile body, and then to the birds, and then to the 4-legged animal, and then finally the soul comes to the human form. So therefore, this cycle or this transmigration, this evolution is based on the development of consciousness of the spirit soul. So this particular concept is being explained very nicely in various scriptures, including the Padma Purana. So there is a stress given to this particular species evolution. The Darwin's theory of evolution currently, but in the Vedic literature, more stress is given to the evolution of consciousness, right? So another concept that we have according to the modern organic evolution theory is that one species evolved over millions of lifetimes and then gave rise to another species through the natural selection and survival of the fittest, and etc., etc. But actually the Vedic scriptures inform us that it is not the case. All the species exist always from the beginning of the creation. So all the 84 lakh species, 84 lakh varieties of bodies exist simultaneously from the beginning. And this was created by the Supreme Lord. That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Let's continue our reading. Who would like to read next?
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I'll
Prabhu.
read. Yes, Ashish.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Ashish, please read.
Yeah, sure. Cycle of creation, manifestation, destruction.
I will read the Sanskrit for you.
Yes, yes, sure.
Shall I?
Sure, Prabhu. Yeah, please.
सर्वभूतानि कौन्तेय प्रकृतिं यान्ति मामिकां कल्पक्षये पुनस्तानि कल्पादौ विसृजाम्यहम् प्रकृतिं स्वाम् अवष्टभ्य विसृजामि पुनः पुनः भूतग्रामम् इमं कृत्स्नम् अवशं प्रकृतेर्वशात्. Please read the translation.
O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, every material manifestation enters into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I again create. The whole cosmic order is under me. By my will is it by my will is it manifested again and again, and by my will is it annihilated at the end. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, purport 7.8.
Very
Thank you,
nice.
Prabhu.
So these are chapter 7 and 8. Sorry, chapter 9, verses 7 and 8. So Lord Krishna is saying, Sarva Bhutani, all living entities, they are created by the Lord. They are manifested by the Lord in the beginning of every millennium. Here, millennium refers to the beginning of creation, beginning of Brahma's day. And at the end of Brahma's day, all the manifested creatures again enter into the body of the Lord. So it is the entire material existence goes through the cycle of creation, manifestation, and destruction. This material world is temporary manifestation. It's not a permanent manifestation. The spiritual world is permanent manifestation. It remains eternally the same. Whereas the material world in which we are currently living goes through a cycle of creation, manifestation or maintenance for a certain amount of time, and then it gets annihilated or destroyed. Before the creation, during the manifestation, and after destruction, the Lord remains as He is without any change. Therefore, the Lord is called absolute truth because He exists in all the three phases of time or in all the three phases of creation, maintenance, and destruction. Whereas the matter or material world, it is called relative truth because it exists only for a certain period of time. Let's continue to read. Next slide. Yes, who would like to read this part?
I can read Prabhu.
I think you have
Hare
some
Krishna
problem.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, who is this? Hare Krishna, please speak. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. All of
Yes,
these living
Pramod.
entities, yeah, all
Speciality
of
of
these living,
human life.
yeah, is speciality of human life.
Yes.
All of these living entities are subject to the threefold misery, including those miseries pertaining to the body and mind. Animals cannot understand that they are suffering, but human being can. One who does not know that he is suffering is in animal consciousness. Animals may be standing behind a fence to be slaughtered, but they do not understand this.
Okay, thank you for reading, Pramod. So, speciality of human life. What makes human beings unique or special among other species of life? So, here it is said that everybody in this material world, all living entities, including human beings, we are subjected to the threefold miseries, isn't it? But animals cannot understand that they are actually going through suffering. The example given here is there are, let's say, there are many sheep or goats in the slaughterhouse. So, in front of those goats, a butcher will be slaughtering one particular animal. The other animals, even though they are witnessing it, they cannot actually understand, or they cannot calculate that after some time I will also be slaughtered like this. What should I do to escape this? The animals will never think, because their consciousness is not so developed. Even though it is the same soul which is present in the animal's body also, as which is present in the human body, but the consciousness of the soul present in the animal's body is not completely expressed, or it is not completely evolved. So it cannot actually make out that it's going through suffering. Whereas human beings, we can understand that there is suffering. So therefore, we have to do something about this suffering. So that is what makes human beings unique or different, special among all species of life. So those who do not know that there is suffering, those who simply think that all is well, everything is going on nicely, they are actually in lower consciousness or animal consciousness. Let's go to the next slide. Who would like to read next?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, please, you can read. Sanatana Dhama Prabhu is going to read for us.
Speciality of human life. As human beings, we should cognizant that we are suffering the pains of birth, old age, disease, and death, and should be inquisitive to know how to avoid these miseries. We have been suffering from the beginning of our birth, when, as a baby, we were tightly placed for 9 months in the womb of a mother. After birth, suffering continues. Although a mother may take much care for her child, the baby still cries. Why? Because he is suffering. Either a bug is biting, or there is a pain in the stomach, or some other malady. Whatever the case, the suffering goes on. The child does not want to study, but the teacher gives him, takes away.
You skipped one line. The child also suffers when he is forced.
Also suffers when he is forced to go to school, when he does not want to, the child does not want to study, but the teacher gives him task anyway. If we carefully analyze our lives, we will find that they are full of suffering. Generally speaking, conditioned souls are not very intelligent, and therefore they go on suffering without ever inquiring why. We should understand, however, that the suffering is there, and if there is a remedy, we must take advantage of it.
Very nice, thank you. So, speciality of human life continued. So we have to become cognizant or aware of the sufferings that we are going through in this material existence. We talked about threefold miseries, and then there are four kinds of other miseries also: Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, birth, death, old age, and disease. So we have to inquire, we have to become inquisitive, how to get rid of these miseries. First of all, we have to realize that there are miseries. So Srila Prabhupada is saying here, our miseries begin right from our existence in the womb of our mothers. So we were tightly packed for 9 months in the womb of our mother. And then after birth, there are some more miseries, like the child suffers because of some malady, some disease, a bug biting it. So there is pain. There is pain. And then the suffering continues as we grow old, as we, let's say, many of us would have definitely cried. I remember crying myself going to school in the beginning. So it was not a very great experience, isn't it? We all have gone through it. So throughout our lives, if you analyze, we see that there is suffering. So that is the nature of material existence. So this material existence itself is defined as dukkhalayam. It's a place of miseries. And it is ashashvatam, it is temporary. So therefore, the conditioned souls, we have discussed this term conditioned soul in great detail in the previous session. Conditioned soul means we have got 4 defects. We have imperfect senses. We have the tendency to cheat. We have the tendency to commit mistakes. And we are illusioned. We are prone to be illusioned. These are the 4 defects of every conditioned soul. So we are not very intelligent. So therefore, we are going through the suffering without inquiring. So therefore, the human life is actually meant for inquiry, to ask questions. Athato Brahma Jignasa, Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. Jignasa means that spirit of inquiry. I don't want to go through this misery. Why miseries are coming? Is there a way out? What is the remedy? So this is what human life is meant for. So that is the speciality of human form of life. This opportunity to inquire is not available in other species of life because their intelligence is not very fine. It's not very developed. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, now we have finished reading. We have understood that human form of life is like a junction. We have to inquire. We have to get out of the cycle of birth and death. And for that, we have to make spiritual inquiries. Now, how to make spiritual inquiries and what is the process, we will read in the next session. Now we have a quiz based on what we have read just now. So I'm going to read out questions. You will have 30 seconds time to answer. All you have to do is type your answer and send it to me personally as a comment. Okay? Do not post as a public comment. Post it to me personally. So here's your first question. What are spirit souls actually intended for? What are spirit souls actually intended for? What are we intended for? Your time has already begun. So I have not received any answers so far. So I've got 3 answers. Someone has said serving the Lord. Someone has said reaching the spiritual world, going back to Godhead, liberation. These are the different answers I have received. Okay, time up. Let's see the answer. The answer is to associate with God in the spiritual sky. We are not intended to be here in the material world, but we are intended to go back to the spiritual world and associate with God there. Let's go to the next question. What idea from Milton in Paradise Lost did Srila Prabhupada cite? Your time starts now. John Milton's Paradise Lost. What idea is conveyed in that book which was cited in the reading matter? Anirudh Goyal has given an answer. Amrit has given, but I'm afraid that's not the idea. Pramod Kumar Gupta has also given the right answer. No. Okay, Prashant Kumar and Hari Krishnan. Yes, you have given the right answer. Hari Krishnan has given the answer. Let's see the answer. The answer is, can we have the answer? Those who are not fit to live in the spiritual world are sent to this material world. That is the exact answer, and I think Hari Krishnan gave the exact answer. Others also have given, but not accurate. So we are not fit. Those who are not fit to stay in the spiritual world are sent to the material world. That is the answer. The next question, fill in the blank. We have voluntarily accepted this material body, and by accepting it, have also accepted dash. It's like a concomitant, consequent factor. By accepting the material body, we have also accepted what? Please do not say the answer. Type your answer and send it to me personally in the chat. Okay, so let's see. I think everybody has given the right answer. It is threefold miseries of material existence. That's the right answer. Very nice. Let's go to the next 4th question. Which one of the 4 problems, birth, old age, disease, and death, is explained in the picture below? oh sorry, not in the picture, in the context, in the text that we read, which of the four problems were explained? Birth, old age, disease, and death. So Anirudh Goyal has given the answer. Others also please type in. Amrit has given the answer, but I'm afraid it's not the right answer, Amrit. Ashish has given the right answer. And Prashant has given the right answer. Saurav also has given the right answer. Sanatana Dhama Prabhu has not given the right answer. The right answer is birth. So we discussed that right from birth, right from our existence in the mother's womb, there is miseries, there is suffering. That's what we read. So birth is the right answer. Let's go to the next question. Which of the following were mentioned as sufferings in the text? There are four options, A, B, C, and D. Which of these are mentioned as suffering? A, B, C, and D. Amrit says A. Amrit now has changed his answer. Okay. Amit Shivam has also said A. Okay, others, please type in. You just have to type A, B, C, D, or whatever you feel is the right answer. So Prashant. Okay, so many answers I've received. Let's see what's the right answer. Answer, please. Answer is A, B, and D. One is our existence in the mother's womb, there is suffering. Children crying, going to school, there is suffering. Studying, being forced to study, there is suffering. So A, B, and D, that was mentioned in the passage that we read. Okay, let's go to the next question. How does the translation explain that in the beginning of creation, all species were created by Sri Krishna? Doesn't that talk about matter? This is the translation that we are referring to, Bhagavad Gita 9.7 to 8. How does the translation explain that in the beginning of creation, all species were created by Sri Krishna? Doesn't that talk about matter? Okay. I'm afraid nobody has sent an answer so far. Time up. So answer is because all species are different bodily forms, they are made of matter. So here Krishna is referring to the bodily forms, 84 lakh varieties of bodies. Remember, we are spirit souls, we are eternal. We are not created, we are not destroyed. Only our bodily forms are subjected to creation and destruction. That we must understand. So here in this verse, Krishna is referring to the bodily forms. Next question. Next question 6. When is one said to be in animal consciousness? Your time starts now. According to the passage that we read, when is someone said to be in animal consciousness? Please type in your answers. Anirudh Goyal has given the perfect answer. Prashant has also given the perfect answer. Hari Krishnan has given perfect, right? Others, please type in. Sanatana Dhama Prabhu has not given the right answer. Okay, let's see the answer. The answer is when one does not know that he is suffering. When we don't know that we are suffering or we are going through miseries, that is said to be animal consciousness. You remember the slaughterhouse example that I gave. Okay, the next question. 7th question. Reason out. How is spiritual evolution different from Darwinian evolution? Your time starts, has already begun. How is spiritual evolution that we talked about, referring to it from the Padma Purana, how is it different from Darwinian evolution? Okay, Amrit, Anirudh Goyal. I'm afraid that's not the expected Uh, okay, Prashant. Okay. The answer is here highlighted in this passage. It's underlined. Spiritual evolution happens from one bodily form to another. Okay. And also towards the bottom part of the soul may progress from lower forms to higher forms, but in the beginning creation, all species are created by Sri Krishna. So some of you have given the right answer, that according to Darwin's theory, one form evolved from the other form, whereas according to the scriptural understanding, all the forms exist they exist always, 84 lakh species, and the soul, according to its consciousness, is given one bodily form. Okay. What's the next? I think we are done with the quiz. Okay. Anyone has any questions or comments to make quickly?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Ashish here, Prabhu.
Ashish, yes.
So, as we discussed in the beginning, like the
Ashish, one thing.
Yes,
I
sir.
think because now there is a limitation of 40 minutes for the session, I'm afraid we cannot take your comment.
Okay.
We are running
Okay.
short of time. We can have a personal conversation on this. Sorry for interrupting you. Let us see, maybe we can have more sessions and more, maybe specifically question answer session we can have. So thank you so much for being part of the session. Let us now chant the Hare Krishna mantra 3 times together quickly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I request all of you to please chant at least one round, 108 times of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day, and chant once the Panchatattva mantra and then the Hare Krishna mantra 108 times. So now I request all of you to please make a note of this link that we are displaying, and please give your valuable feedback and comments about today's session. So can we have the link, please?